Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome back to From the Depths with me, Alathrix, and of course, welcome back to the adventure mode where today we have two very simple goals. The first of which is to go from our current difficulty, which is 7.5, all the way to a minimum of difficulty 20. So we are increasing it by a significant margin, more than double our current difficulty, which means hopefully we're going to see a lot of the other large craft, or at least some of the more generally difficult ones. Will this end up with our timely demise? Perhaps, but it's going to be a lot of fun. The second goal is to finally set up a steam boiler, which means when we are low on energy, the steam boiler will kick in, it will burn our materials, but give us loads and loads of energy in return. At least that's the idea, because if we run out of energy, we can't fly. If we can't fly, we can't get away. So if we fight back and use up all our energy, we are then stuck and unable to escape easily. Also, I want to say a big thank you to everyone who gave feedback in the previous video with the whole like graphic and such. I am now working on trying to make something subtle so that it doesn't get in the way too much of the video or break the flow, because that is my worst fear when it comes to asking for likes on a video, even though it does help out immensely. So, I just need to think of something subtle. So, with the steam boiler, where I think I'm going to end up placing it is somewhere around here, because behind the particle cannon there is actually a large cavity, which originally was going to be for the railgun, since I was going to have a secondary railgun here rather than the particle cannon, which is going to be much, much larger. So if I put it there, it's going to share a lot of defense from pretty much everything else. So I think that's the correct placement, and then, using a control block, we can have it so it only activates under certain conditions, at least I believe so. So here we are, battery. So if the battery is within, let's say, 0 to 20%, then we want to go over to steam engines, which I'm sure will be here somewhere. I haven't actually messed around with the steam engine this way before, with the new control blocks. Steam boilers. Then we can set the burn rate. So if we have two of these, we can have one to slow it down or turn it off, and then one to increase it. So we can have it in different intervals. Between 0 and 20, burn at 100%. Between 21 and 40, go at 50%. And then above that, just turn off and stop burning any steam. That seems reasonable to me. Whilst I do that, though, I will be, of course, going from red portal to red portal. We'll probably see some combat along the way, since sometimes it can take a while between portals. And I will be looking out for blue portals as well, which increase our difficulty significantly more. I feel so slow now when I'm in our ocean-based mode. I mean, we're still going 27 meters per second. It's not stupidly slow, it's just so much slower than being in the air. Maybe some increased speed might be a good idea. Oh, another portal. The second I can no longer see any portals, then I'll go back to building the steam engine and testing out the idea. Did I say burning any steam earlier rather than burning materials? Well, I can do the talking. Oh, there's apparently an enemy. Tiny little aircraft. Am I even going to bother? Well, there it goes. Oh, like I said before, the particle cannon really punishes the enemy's design. It's not the most powerful thing ever, the EMP mode, but it's so punishing if the enemy is not EMP resistant. There we are. Okay, looks like there's no portals in sight, so let's get to work placing down the steam engine. Now, it should be quite simple. Since we're going purely for battery power, it means all we're going to do is put down... Wow, this has changed since last time I looked at this. So, we're going with probably the large turbine, or perhaps the huge turbine, because that'd be fun. And then we just attach that to a generator, right? We can still do that with the larger version, am I correct? I'm assuming so, however I can't see a generator with the huge... Wow, it's been so long since I've messed around with these. You can really tell. It takes so long just to clean anything up in this game. Well, I say in this game, it's more along the lines of because I am currently building this very weirdly. But there we are. So you have space there. It has layers of armor on all sides. That's a green portal. That is not what we wanted. Quick check. Okay, so just make sure we don't go into that. So that is plenty of space. There is an unknown assailant. I think it might be just another achievement. Is it the achievement again? Yeah, looks like it. In that case, keep on firing. Oh, that was a nice EMP blast there. It's so difficult to use all the weapons and control the movement at the same time. I do need to eventually add a mainframe to this thing, at least for some basic combat. Oh, it's going into the water. Which is good, because we're about to get out of ammo. Oh, no, it's not. It is mocking us, apparently. I mean, there's quite a lot to mock, to be fair, but still. There we are. Quite a fun fight, nonetheless. We haven't taken all that much damage. We knocked out a lot of its weapon systems quite early on. All it's got really is those missiles, which I think are EMP, which again are not particularly good versus us, since we don't have anything really that important to EMP down. We are completely out of power. You see, this is why we need the steam engine. As explained before. There we are. Now it's in a good line of sight. We can start firing. Properly. Start bobbing around. Our shells aren't fast enough. Even this weapon takes up energy. The gun isn't reloading, by the way. I'm just firing slowly on purpose. I want to see if I can get this thing into the water without completely destroying it. There we are. Let's see if we can capture an achievement. No! Stay in the water, you bugger. There we go. Darn it, yeah, it's sinking. What we need is... After that last fight, I've been thinking that perhaps a fuel engine would be better than a steam engine. The reason is a fuel engine is instantly turned on as soon as you turn it on, whereas a steam engine has some time to ramp up, which of course is an issue if you suddenly need the power because you've used everything in a fight. But I still think I'm going to go with a steam engine for now, but I will likely replace it with a fuel engine later. One of the problems, honestly, is just I don't understand fuel engines all that well when it comes to being very, very fuel efficient. When it comes to power per space, I'm actually not that bad at building them. But looking at some of the prefabs like this one over here, I just don't get it. I look at that and it's just confused noises. So this is burning 1 fuel for 197 power, which of course is really, really good. At least I think it's really, really good. If we look at the original EcoMax prefab, this one, the older ones, which I thought was really good itself, 80. Now, am I reading this wrong? But that's significantly worse, and that's using all of these turbochargers. There's 4 of them on this one cylinder, so clearly there's a lot I don't understand when it comes to fuel efficiency, so for now, we're going to stick with the steam engine, but I will be off camera learning the fuel engine so I can make my own, since I don't want to use a prefab. I could, it wouldn't be difficult, and it wouldn't be difficult to set it up with the control blocks, so give me your opinions on that, just using one of the prefabs, because it might just be the easiest, probably one of the better options for me, but I personally would rather stick to not using that. So, just going to quickly install the steam engine, set it all up, and let's see if that will work once we drain all our power. Wow, there are layers and layers of armor underneath this thing. This craft really is an onion. It's just layers. Well, time's changed my mind yet again. After messing around with the steam engines and some control blocks, this is like 20 minutes later of just me messing around. I really do think the fuel engine makes a lot more sense with how we're trying to use it. I love steam engines, but I really think the fuel engine, again, just makes far more sense. So, either I try now to learn in the middle of the adventure mode how this thing even works, or I just use the prefab. The prefab is probably more than enough, and this thing would fit perfectly in here. Plenty of space. I can't decide. One way is so much easier. After a while of looking at the fuel engines, I realised I just do not have time currently to relearn all the systems, so I have gone with a prefab. Ooh, hello, and there is an enemy, and I'll explain how I've set up the control blocks in just a second, so that we use them nice and efficiently. What is that? Is that a Jacob's Folly? Why do I always see Jacob's Follies? Well, I'd like to try and capture you, so let's get nice and close, let's land near it, and then EMP its face off. Now, what I'm going to be doing off camera is relearning the fuel engines. What I've realised after looking at them is I know how to make powerful compact engines. I have no idea how fuel-efficient engines work at all. And after looking at it, I just couldn't figure it out by just looking. So I definitely need to get my hands dirty, and I need to build an engine myself from scratch. Now, I would love to fire some EMP at this thing, but the last time I did that, it instantly destroyed it, so... Okay, we should be dodging that, even though it does have a bit of a homing ability since it's a mortar shell. There we are. It is turning faster than we can get past it, which is a bit annoying. Oh, there's another enemy over there. Nope, that's just me going mad. Excellent. There we are. Get ready to land. Also, the game has gone really quiet at the moment for some reason. Hello there. Was that even aimed at me? Or was there another enemy? No. Just a bit of weird aiming there. Tiny cram shots, they really shouldn't be able to pierce through our hull, so that's fine. I say while detonating. Yep, there we are. Hello, Jacob's Volley. I'll be taking you as the game for some reason starts to stutter. Lovely. How much resource from that? 3,000. Sorry, 33,000. Back into the air, please. Well, that was an easy fight. Now back to the engine. And back to me hunting down some red portals. Oh, there's one. Okay, as we head there, let's take a quick look-see then at the engine, how I've set everything up. So here's the prefab. I need to armor it up fully in a short while. And I have two control blocks, one of which is saying if the battery is between 0% and 20%, we set the maximum RPM to 100%, essentially turning on the engine fully. And then we have the opposite, if the battery is between 21 and 100%, we have the fuel engine off. That way we're only using the fuel engine if we are low on battery power, which means the RTGs aren't keeping up with our demand. Otherwise the RTGs are running, and we're not using any materials at all. So right now we are free of charge. Although it does say engine power 3,100 out of 3,100, we're definitely not using it, as you can see by the fact that our fuel simply isn't moving. Although we do need a bit more fuel than that now, I suppose. So that is something to consider. Okay, almost there. This will send us to difficulty. Oh, no, we are past 10. Excellent. 20 is still the goal. Okay, here we are. Just a bit of random space here from the old craft. Just going to fill this in. This is also where the old RTGs are, which I still really need to get rid of, but that's fine. There's armor on both sides, quite a lot of it in fact. So that should be plenty safe. Maybe one more layer, maybe one more layer. Now I would add a refinery, but the problem is the refinery is less efficient the higher altitude you are, and I'm consistently now in the air, at least in terms of travel. So that wouldn't be all that great, it wouldn't be quite as efficient. Still probably be more efficient than constantly purchasing the fuel, but Yeah, definitely something to consider. If I do start travelling more again on the water, I will likely add a refinery, but for now, I'll just keep on purchasing it because it's nice and easy, and we probably won't be using all that much of it anyway, so it's not going to be too much of an issue if that isn't the most efficient thing. Why am I going east now? Don't particularly want to go east, since that's where the weather is worst if we go through portals, so let's go back to going west. Still need more turning capability. I think it's just the size of this craft. It's becoming so difficult to turn even in the air. Definitely better in the air, but would be nice if it was better than better. Lots of betters. Now, another thing I want to do is to add a new weapon system. I'm going to be removing the torpedoes at the front. I've decided I hate them. It just came to me at one point. Yep, I absolutely loathe those weapons. So what I'm going to do is add torpedo turrets to the bottom of the craft. That way, it's going to be much easier to aim at the target and just set everything up. Trying to get these things to work correctly, especially with our turning, is just horrendous. So what I'm probably going to do is just copy and paste the missile turret we have currently on the bottom of the craft, and have two of them, one at the back, one at the front, and those are going to be using torpedoes. That way, we should be able to take out most subs nice and easy. There's a green portal. Can I have a red or a blue, please? That is not worth going back for. One more, and we are now in difficulty 14.6. We continue onwards. Just added some more deadly blades and went through another portal, so now our turning is a fair bit sharper. Still not that quick, but for the size of our craft, it's okay. We are now on difficulty 17.7. We are almost at our goal. Then I'm just going to sit around and fight some enemies for about an hour or two, just to see what the enemies are like. If they're still a little bit underwhelming, then we will continue to increase the difficulty in the next video. Excuse me, how did that miss? But that hit? Sure. Oh, hello, portal. Any other enemies, or was that it? That was it, okay. Now going through yet another portal, we are almost at 20. We are now in difficulty 21, so I'm just gonna go in circles now. Let's see if we can spawn in some enemies. I'll stay here for an hour or two just to see what enemies pop up. There is a very real possibility that we're gonna need to scale the difficulty a fair bit more, but hopefully that's wrong, and we'll find something interesting today. I am really running out of time, and on a completely unrelated note, today is actually my birthday, hence why I'm really running out of time. Though thanks to the quarantine, my birthday celebrations consists of ale, staying at home, and little else. Nope, seen you plenty of times before. Did I really only hit the spin block then? I'll slowly take you out as I get dizzier and dizzier turning left. Can you stop just hitting the spin block, please? Well, we stopped it. I can't fire anymore, because if I do, I'm going to be hitting myself. Again, we're not actually set up for combat in the air, unless it's very light combat, just like that. If we see a proper enemy, we need to go into our ship mode as soon as possible. Isn't this something we captured a while back, this particular Onyx Watchcraft? Well, not this specific one, but the same type. Yep, definitely. Not really worth going into ship mode just yet. Apparently there is another enemy as well, which is firing at us. The Winter's Day. Well, never heard of that. Let's have a scouting missile and see what it is. It's firing frag shells, which are exploding way too early. Hello. I have no idea what you asked. Yep, I don't even know what faction you belong to. I suppose we probably should go into ship mode so we can start firing our main weapons. Gonna continue just to turn around though, so trying to actually hit these targets is gonna be a load of fun. So apparently the in-game volume has been really low according to the recording, but on my end it's all fine. So I've just amplified everything, which is weird, but there we are. 2.2k damage, not all that much, but we are quite distant in terms of range. Don't really want to waste any shells at the moment. Ooh, what are you? Look at you spinning away. I'm guessing you're a melee craft. That is really cool. I mean, it's dead, but it's cool. You don't have to be alive to be cool. There's a lot of EMP damage spread throughout a lot of area there, but still didn't quite work. Oh, you're that weird one. Just gonna keep on turning even though we are being shot at. Not even specifically trying to kill these two, just because they make good targets for the other enemies that are going to spawn in. If we get lucky, they'll act as distractions against a larger target. Cheesy? Yes. Effective? Maybe. Okay, you can go oop into the depths itself. As I jump backwards because of a explosion. How are neither of you dead? Either your brains or your body should have gave up by now. Well, time to do another lap anyway. So I've also been told that they've nerfed how much resource you get from capturing things. When we just killed that target then, we got 30k resource just for the kill. That was the Onyx Watch ship, so it does seem like just destroying things might be okay. I haven't really looked into the whole nerf thing, so I will have to look into that at some point. Okay, this shot, there we go, AI dead, and that is activating our engine, so we are continuing like normal until the RTGs charge up our battery. Though what we could do is increase how much this engine is giving to the batteries. At the moment, it's only a very small amount. We could make it give far more, and allow the batteries to charge up faster. But I feel like this is better, just having the 3k given to every vital component, like the Heartstone, movement and everything else. The battery is there more just for the weapons. I went through 2 more portals, and I've just added a secondary fuel engine. So here's another reason why learning how they work and everything will be way better in the future. I could have just built an absolutely huge one, and that's the plan for the future. I want one large engine, perhaps some very small engines around the craft as backups, but I would much rather have this one and make it very well armoured in one place where I want it to be. Also, apparently the rotors are slightly going through the armour here. That's something for future Lathrix to fix. But yep, now we have 2 of those. It means when they're active, we have 8,700 fuel engine power, so that really should be enough. Now, we wait for an opponent once again. We also now have enough resources if we want to. We can add the secondary railgun, which will be pretty much all of my main armaments finished. That would be nice, doubling our railgun damage. At the moment, the railgun is amazing, so having 2 of those would be phenomenal. Difficult to decide. That's probably going to be the next video, adding our next main weapon. I do love this series. It's so episodic by nature. It is very, very fun to be planning ahead like that. Even if sometimes you are stranded doing nothing for a few hours. I stopped paying attention for 2 seconds, then we get hit by a nuke. Ugh, first world problems, eh? Well, that's gonna cost us a pretty penny, innit? What are you? That didn't really answer my question. I have never heard of that one before. Also, why can't I zoom any further out on this thing? Well, it doesn't matter. About to find out exactly what it is. Hopefully we'll even hit it. Not particularly big, and it's not firing at us from this range, so it's not scary, really. Ta-da! Ooh, explosions. Oh, that's cute. It's a little hydrofoil. Have we fought that before? I vaguely recognise it. Well, just gotta ignore it until we either need to destroy it or something else comes along. Thankfully, these are pitch and roll anyway, so even if all of these got destroyed, our craft would still be absolutely fine. We have the internal rotors, we have the slightly external ones, these ones which I love the look of. Then we have the thrusters as well. It takes a lot to make this thing tip over. It's got a lot of stuff and a very aggressive PID. It's probably easier to take it out of the sky than make it roll, really. Okay, back to just going in circles. Ooh, a decent enemy, the Palisade. Interesting, okay, we are now going down, at least we should be. Just make sure we are. And fire. Okay, quite a few EMP hits there. Should really just go for the core at this range. I'm not sure where I'm firing at, so let's see if we can just core this thing out. Yeah, at some point I need to add a mainframe, because trying to control everything at once is getting a little bit ridiculous, honestly. That should be a lot of damage there. Is it enough to stop it from firing back? Oof, there's some nasty missiles it has. It has lots of them as well. Gonna stop firing until I see it firing again. If it fires again, then of course, we will continue our bombardment. Thankfully, its main missile's out of range. Not sure why the game's lagging so much today. Have to double check everything afterwards. Well, seems like we may have disabled it. There was a lot of EMP which just hit it, so let's see if we can capture it just for the fun of it. If it fires back even once more, we will simply destroy it. So it's its choice, really. Be converted and devoured, or just be blown up. Alley-up. Okay, how much are you worth? 284,000. Why are you worth 200? Because all those are large missiles. Can I please stop falling through this? Also, I'm so glad this doesn't happen when I'm, you know, flying. That actually be game over. Though I do think there is a way to teleport back to your chair using the build mode, but that's not important. Right now, you, welcome to my side. Well, welcome to becoming part of us, that is. Though I'm really happy that that's so expensive, because that hints to me that the larger vehicles now are going to be spawning in, because I think the crossbones is only 200, 300,000, right? Could be less. I would love to see the crossbones and such. Oh my god. We have over 400,000. We have almost 500,000 resources. Oh, that is... We could build anything. What do I even want with that much money? Well, that was kind of amazing. So, let's go back into the air. Keep on going in circles, and let's see what else we can find. Currently, we're going in circles quite slowly since I've set it up like this for the auto turn. Essentially just automatic, and then using some complex controls for some of the thrusters. Just because I find going too fast is a bit annoying. If I use all of my turning, though, it's this quickly. There we are. Fair bit faster, but for now, we just continue like that. Still, though, that's a lot of resource. Been looking back at that fight's footage, and it really just seemed like the reason why we won is just we outranged it so much. The missiles on the underbelly of this craft, these ones, are very long range, even in comparison to its large missiles. Our railgun, although not firing the fastest of shells, can hit things so far away. And then even the particle cannon, set to quite inaccurate levels, still can be somewhat accurate, even at a decent distance. So we were able to very quickly disable everything, even without taking all that many hits. The hits we did take were kind of horrendous, but we only took a few of them, so... Yeah, and we are just made of armor. This thing, it has a lot more defense than it has offense, and that is really paying off. Let's see if we can find one more large enemy. I still have no idea what I'm going to do. We could install an entire laser system. We could go with inefficient engines, because we just have that much resource for that much fuel. So just really, really fuel-hungry but powerful, space-efficient engines. Again, laser system would be really expensive to set up and maintain, but we have the resources. More railguns. We could actually install 2 more. Oh my god, adding 2 railguns. Okay, well that would really require me to remove this. I would have to start removing the original superstructure here. There's the other thing, I could save up and just build the entire superstructure. What do you guys think? I can't even know how much that was worth. I just don't know what to do next. Maybe I'll massively up the difficulty. How about every episode we increase the difficulty by at least 20? Something like that. And then we stay in an area for at least a few hours. Because the problem is, things scale in this game. In terms of the difficulty over time. At least that's my understanding. So if you keep on going through a portal over and over and over again, you're never letting the area scale. That's why doing this will allow you to see larger enemies like the Palisade. And hopefully, I'll see something else. I want to see the Bulwark. I want to see some of the Steel Strider's larger craft. I know they've got a new one, which apparently is utterly terrifying. Ooh, lasers. Ooh, me. Bad. Shouldn't be outside. Lasers bad. Pretty, but bad. Okay, can I please get to the firing controls, though? That would be good. Can I please fire at this thing? Well, hit it with some EMP. You, stop our turning, please. It's not doing that much damage. Run away! It's doing, like, no damage. Oof. Saw a few things fall off there, but I think most of them were just, like, surge protectors. I am so not scared of you. Should really stop firing the short-range missiles. Now realizing I don't really have all that much in anti-air capability again. I mean, I just saw it knock off a piece of wood, so I mean, it's done some damage to me, so... Points there. Wait until it's going in a straight line. There we are. And explosives. It's definitely sturdy as well. It's a good craft. It just isn't doing enough damage. Though it's costing me a fair bit of resource. What have you knocked off which costs so much? Oh, yep. Think I broke it. It just flew off into the distance. Oh, apparently it hit it. A tiny little bit of damage, apparently. Okay, let's carry on. If we were a smaller craft, yeah, that would have been really dangerous for us, but with our current size, it was random firing, and it wasn't focusing on one area long enough to get through any real armor. I saw a few chunks of metal here and there break off. I saw some of the wooden armor break off, but not really enough. Also, why did I land? Go back into the air. Will we ever see it again? Or has it returned to its people? I'm assuming returned to its people. I'm fairly certain this is the enemy with the nuke. Or I could have been wrong. Am I going crazy? No. Excellent. Lots of small white flyer craft, but not much else at the moment. Oh, that poor thing. Really should put it out of its misery. Let's see if we're in range for the small missiles. I am considering re-adding the cluster missile as well, just because we have the resources to do so. Because I love the small missiles, but unless you add regulators and quite a few of them, their range is just so limited. You don't really get all that much use out of them. Sorry, I'm being distracted by the dancing enemy. You know what? You get to live forever there. I mean, you were going to try and kill us, so... Am I being mean? Yeah. But is it okay since you tried to kill me? Yeah. Oh, I haven't seen one of these for a while. Hello there. At least some of the missiles go to the right target. We are being hit. Yeah, so I think the new plan for the next episode... No, I killed the dancing one as well. So the updated plan for the next episode is find a blue portal, spend all the resources we have upgrading the ship, and then go mental going through red portals. Go to a really, really high difficulty and stay there probably for a few episodes worth of time. Ooh, what are you? A Warden. You're not that big. You're worth a fair bit, but you're not too threatening. Can probably just take you out by spamming these missiles from the underslung missile launcher. Oh, will they reach? No, that's so close. Well, we're closer now, so yeah. Well, that EMP blast broke a lot of stuff, apparently. Oh, something else is fighting it. What is it? Ooh, what are you? What are you? Okay, we have something which looks interesting. Ooh. Did I just fire rather than land? Here at Lathcorp, we hurt ourselves, so you don't have to. Whoops. Okay, let me just turn off all the auto-turning and everything. Oh, wow, that's a lot of shots. Okay, yeah, this one is not going to be outranged by us. He's hoping that EMP blast was nasty enough. Come on, reload faster, please. Let me take out these two, whatever they are. Before I figure out that they're too scary. There we are. Less so. What are you? Oh, you look amazing! Oh, I want that. Let me capture it. Ow. Its actual damage isn't that high. I was happy to see something new, honestly. Oh, they're returning to the ship when they're damaged. I was wondering what was happening when we hit them with the EMP blast. Okay, the weapon's somewhere there, so... There's simple weapons, flares at the back, there's a main gun, which is a rail gun. Then there's a gun, oh, there it is. That did not hit where I wanted it to hit. It's focusing a lot of its firepower on the small target over there, the Warden, which makes it much easier for us to get nice and close. Okay, apparently that missed. What? How was that a miss? Okay, I might just need to blow up that weapon. It keeps on hitting us, and it is actually starting to cost us now. Is that a shield or a really good munition defense? That is an amazing munition defense! It's stopping railgun shots! Well, it did for a while, anyway. Okay. Shouldn't be able to target us directly behind it. Try and go for the munition defense. That is insane. What I should really do is just fire everything, that'll overwhelm it. Yeah, there we are. What are you? Okay, I need to look it up, potentially for the thumbnail of the video, so let me use a scout missile if one of them would actually like to target. That would be fantastic. Yep, that's the air. Yep, that's good. Yep, you're doing really well there. Okay, seems... Oh, hello, little fella. Oh, no, you do not get to damage that thing. Yep, now you did. I think we may have rammed the target. Yep, that's a good bit of lag there. What are you? The Valiant. Loads of surge protectors in there. There's a railgun. I forgot I need a heartstone. Just ignore me dying here. That's fine. What an awesome craft. I love the Steel Striders. Not my favourite of the factions, but yeah, for people who like traditional looking ships, and really good ones at that, Steel Striders. Point blank EMP there. Problem is, if it has surge protectors just up there, the chance of it having surge protectors everywhere is very, very likely. Odds are, it's going to be very, very difficult for us to actually take this thing out. Why are our missiles just not locking on to anything? What's wrong with them? Was I going to fire at those at this range? No, actually, I can't really fight this thing right now, except for with the particle cannon. But my energy reserves are all gone. Might need to break into this thing the old-fashioned way. Suddenly really wish I had a melee weapon. Or some simple weapons, just take those out, because they are annoying me. I'll just throw a couple down, because I can. Oh, my missiles are locking onto the flares they've been firing. That's what's going on, the flares at the back. I was wondering what's going on with my missiles. These things, let me just break the top section and they can't be fired anymore. Okay, I've probably skipped ahead quite a bit, but finally I managed to capture this thing. We were here for about half an hour or so, but finally after EMP blast and then another EMP blast and just continuing on, I finally made it AI dead. Now this thing is worth a fortune, so if we scrap it, we basically double our resources, but I am really, really tempted to keep it, because I think it's awesome. I love the fact it has the asymmetrical design. It's currently lagging, so I'm accidentally headbutting the thing. Can we just move forward a little bit, please? Thank you. I love the fact it's meant to have drones with it, which I can always save the design in the sandbox mode and then bring it over here. Please stop moving. And it turns out that, yep, those are exactly what was messing up our missiles. They contain the radar simulators. So I don't know what to do. Do I keep this? Do I sell it for loads of resources? I don't know how I'm going to bring it with me, that's the problem. I don't know what happens when we enter the red portal. We could. Now, this is going to sound really stupid. We could drag this thing along using the anchors, the, what are they actually called? Let's use the correct name for them, shall we? Using the docking stations. And then, when an enemy is within a certain range, we can release it, and then it will be 2 versus 1. Rather than constantly upgrading our own ship, we could have one of them, which is automated, which would be this one. And of course, we can do some conversion work as well. So please give me your opinions on that in the comments below, because I'm really not sure. Do we keep? Do we destroy? Oh, look at the little rafts. The lifeboats. Oh, that's adorable. And there's so many mimics on this. Whoever made this, hats off to you. This thing is awesome. Really, really like it. I don't know why I like it so much, honestly. Now, I like all of the Steel Striders crafts, but this one, for some reason, I've just fell in love with. Time for a quick test. Okay. So, these are armor penetrating and high explosive. I imagine the others are probably the same. Yeah. So that's going to go into the target, then detonate, and it's fired at a decent speed. That would be really nasty against certain targets. And would explain... Okay, I'm stuck. There we go. How we took so much damage from only a few hits. I thought we hadn't taken much, but it ended up costing us thousands upon thousands. And my stamina's coming back again at the moment. Don't know what that is. I'm going crazy. But in the end, sanity's for the week anyway. So, yeah, thank you so much for watching. I could just waffle on. I'm really not sure if I'm going to keep this, if I'm going to sell it, am I going to convert it, leave it as it is. I really love this craft, and it would be interesting to have a fleet prowling the waves. More difficult, but certainly It would be interesting. If I put this on fleet formation, does that mean when I go like this, I can go... Why is it still trying to go over there? Hello? Obey me. That's potentially a problem. Though, once again, if we just leave it on combat, we could have it just dragged along via a docking station or something. So, with that, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed today's video, then of course, likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that From the Depths is a series you wish to see continued in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye. It's been a weird episode, hasn't it?